Axel.
Sarah, what are you doing?
I found your hearts.
Hearts, what are you saying?
Up in the house, your fucking Valentine's hearts.
The Valentine from Megan? Look, I'm sorry. All right? It meant nothing.
I'm not talking about fucking Megan. The hearts, Axel. The 300 fucking candy boxes you used to put the hearts in.
It's Tom, Sarah. Tom must have
Stop
done
it! It's your house, Axel. The picture of me and Tom, you took it. It was there.
Tom must have put it there. Sarah, I've been working the past 72 hours. When would I have time to play psycho?
You're the sheriff, Axel. I mean, you come and go as you please.
All right, Tom, stay back.
It's okay, Sarah.
The both of you, stop fucking moving!
Sarah, look at me. Shoot him and he won't move. What?
Welcome to the Haddonfield Horrors Podcast, where we discuss all things horror, from one-off movies, franchises, TV series, and expanded media. I'm Tawan.
I'm Elion.
And today we're reviewing My Bloody Valentine 3D, released in 2009, directed by Patrick Lussier, with a screenplay by Todd Farmer and Zane Smith. Elion, will you give us the plot summary, please?
In 2009 remake of the 1981 slasher classic, Harmony's haunted past comes back to life on Valentine's Day. A masked killer in the mining suit wields a pickaxe, hunting the town's youth as long-buried secrets in the abandoned mines are revealed, with the body count rising. The survivors must face the horrifying truth before the holiday ends in blood.
But before we get into our movie, we have a couple of Haddonfield headlines to go over this week. I'm going to keep it pretty short with you all. First up on the docket is The Strangers Chapter 3 was released this past weekend, and it debuted with the franchise's lowest opening thus far. The movie opened to around 2,500 theaters across the U.S., and brought in only $3.5 million. So, yeah, it opened in 8th place in the U.S. box office. And for the sake of comparison, the original film opened to $20.9 million in 2008. The sequel, Pray at Night, $10.4 million. Chapter 1, $11.8 million, and Chapter 2 with $5.8 million. So, yeah.
Damn.
Not really good for the Strangers franchise. This definitely took a nosedive. This honestly is because at this point I've seen the first two. I haven't seen this like current trilogy of them, but this is one of those this is one of those movie series that should not have become a franchise. It should have just been the one movie. But Hollywood, can't resist a franchise, so they had to bring the characters back, and now we are where we are.
I will agree with you on that section, just because I'm was the second one, was it just like fiction as well, or was that an actual story of the murders that happened with them?
Well, none of them are like real. The first movie was more so based on like around a concept of like something that happened, but it wasn't like super inspiration from like a real life event. It was kind of a culmination of things that got there, but yeah, it wasn't based on a true story.
I swear to God, I thought The Strangers was based on the Charles Manson.
No.
Oh, shit. Okay, then. Shit.
Yeah, but yeah, these movies, the current little trilogy that they had going on, were all shot back to back by director Rennie Harlan. And yeah, they have just not been good. The film, this Chapter 3 sits currently at a 17% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Damn.
And yeah, it's just not been going good. Now, while it was technically a flop, at least this one in particular, all three movies were shot, as I said, shot back to back. So they were filmed for around $20 million altogether. and at the moment they've grossed over 70 million. So it wasn't like it was a hit, but it also was not a bomb either. Um, but this third one has definitely kind of sealed the fate of the franchise. We probably won't be seeing anything from the Strangers for a long time, and it should stay that way. Um, I think what we got with the first one was really good, but Hollywood can't wait to turn something into a little franchise, and that's where we are now. But moving on, we have two pieces of news, both involving director Mike Flanagan. Mike Flanagan, for those who aren't aware, um, is the director behind such movies as Doctor Sleep, um, Ouija, Origin of Evil, and he also did the Haunting of Hill House shows for Netflix and like a bunch of other stuff. He's been great in regards to horror and his eye for what he's been doing. But first up is doing a he's going to be doing another Stephen King adaptation, this time for Warner Bros., and it will be The Mist. So he's going to be turning The Mist into another movie.
That shit pissed me off. That ending
This
pissed
will
me off so much.
be I believe the second incarnation of the Mist, because there was technically the third. So there was the first movie that came out in 2007, and there was a 2017 TV series on Spike also regarding it. And yeah, so Mike Flanagan is going to be helming this. This will be a movie. This won't be a TV show. Um, Nothing in regards to release dates or anything, because this news was announced recently this week. And as of right now, this will be, well, once it comes out, this will be his fifth Stephen King adaptation. As of at the moment, he's already done Gerald's Game, Doctor Sleep, The Life of Chuck, and he also has a Carrie series that'll be releasing later this year.
Ooh, I'm looking interested in how they're gonna do an adaptation for that one. Is there any
Yep.
information whether it's gonna be the same thing or is it just like based around like the story of Carrie or like just a different person, maybe within the family?
Yeah, it's just gonna be based around the
Mhm.
book. It's gonna be I think as of right now, it's like an 8 episode miniseries. Um, so yeah, and I believe that's already finished shooting. They finished filming that the Carrie TV show, so it's in post production. It's gonna be released on Amazon Prime Video later this year. No release date for that at the moment.
Oh,
Um, And moving on to another piece of news involving Mike Flanagan, to those unaware, he will be also making an adaptation of The Exorcist. Now, it's not known if this is going to be a remake of the original film, a sequel to the most recent Exorcist movie called Exorcist Believer that released around, I believe that was either 2023 or 4. There hasn't been any news on that because the Exorcist Believer was supposed to spawn a new Exorcist trilogy, but the movie was so badly received they kind of canceled that and switched it up and decided to let Mike Hannigan helm it. Um, a new um, a new movie in the series. And as of right now, the cast is looking pretty stacked. The article that I'm reading says Lawrence Fishburne has just joined the cast, along with Scarlett Johansson, Diane Lane, and Chiwetel Ejiofor. So the cast is pretty good for this, and it will be released under Blumhouse. So that can be a good or bad thing, but um, Mike Flanagan, he's pretty like he hasn't let me down yet. He's one of those people. When I see him attached to a project, I know I'm going to get something good, and I I'm always willing to check it out. I mean, I did see that Exorcist Believer movie, and
oh,
that
how was
shit
it?
was ass.
Oh,
Yeah, I was not here for it.
they made the That's the one that they made the trailer look really good, right? Like it looked really well made. That's the
Yeah,
one
the
you're talking
trailer
about.
definitely was better than the movie.
Oh shit! Oh, it was a movie. I thought it was a show. I thought they were just making a second series or like a second version of the show.
No. This is in regards to The Exorcist. So that the Exorcist Believer was a movie. It was
Oh
supposed to
shit!
start like a new trilogy for The Exorcist, but it was not it was not hitting as it should.
Damn.
But yeah, so yeah, Mike Flanagan, he is booked and busy right now. This man has like going on all at once, and I hope he can pull it all off. But today, that wraps up our um, Haddonfield headlines, and we're going to move back into My Bloody Valentine 3D. So, this was not my first time seeing this movie. I definitely, I know I seen this movie like around the time it came out, probably a year after it came out, because I very much remember getting this movie out of either Netflix when they still used to ship DVDs, or from Redbox because I know I
Oh my
watched it
god!
one of those
Red
ways.
Band.
Yeah, I remember I like asked my parents to let me get that movie, and
Girl.
even back then I thought it looked ass. When I was younger, I thought that movie looked bad, and it still does look bad to me. It looks like a soap opera. Like I don't know how they filmed it like this. It is not. It's not giving. But yeah, this movie, yeah, was not really giving even after this current rewatch. I don't know, something about it just doesn't really sit with me. Um, but let's get in like some good and bad. Some of the kills here in this movie are good. We'll give it that. Now, because they were going for the 3D effects with a lot of stuff, they have those obvious bits where where if you were watching it in 3D, it would be cool, but watching it not in 3D, it looks stupid. Just random things that are coming at the at the camera for no reason for us, and also I just hated at that time when they would just put 3D at the end of everything that was 3D related, like Texas Chainsaw 3D, My Bloody Valentine
Girl.
3D. Like,
Girl, you
I
have to
hated
remember. You gotta
that
remember.
era.
You gotta remember the production had so much faith for it to be 3D.
That era was so stupid of everything they were just putting in 3D for no reason. Um, Thanks Avatar for that one.
Oh,
Um, but yeah, I just giving this a rewatch and stuff. It didn't live up to any expectations. I was definitely expecting to still not really care for this. And not even in like a campy way was it fun. Like sometimes I can, go back and watch a movie that I thought was bad when I was younger and maybe, you know, think maybe find like the campiness in it. But even that didn't really come across with this one. It had just some big good bits as far as like kills and gore, but that aside, it wasn't really good. And eh, I forgot how you pronounce his name, Jensen Ackles, who
just
was kind of
yeah.
like who was kind of like our main character from Supernatural. He was he was not good in this movie.
I have so much to say, but I'm gonna let you finish first.
No. Let's pass it on to you because I definitely want to hear what your thoughts because this was your first time seeing this, correct?
Yeah, just like you, I actually do remember watching these trailers. I think these were one of the first movies that came out when they were showing audience reactions as well. I could be wrong. Do you remember though? Do you remember that?
Say that once more. I'm sorry.
No, no. Wasn't this one of the first movies that they showed like audience reactions to the movie to show that it was a good movie?
I don't think this was one of those movies. If it was, I don't think it was the first because I definitely remember Paranormal Activity doing that before.
Oh no! I'm saying it was one of the first. I didn't say it was the first because I do remember Paranormal Activity doing it first.
Off top of my head, I don't remember it for this movie.
Okay. No, it's fine. I do remember seeing this like a trailer all the time. I was always intrigued by watching it, but I never got around to it. And then finally, this is the first time I actually see it. I actually didn't mind it. For one, like I'm always a hater of 3D. Like I've always said, I fucking hate 3D. But I was really surprised that this was one of the films that like I see some of the like the scenes that are 3D, and I see some scenes that try to be 3D, and it wasn't bad. Like it didn't just like rub off the wrong way, where it's just like remember Final Destination 5, where like you could tell it was fully 3D and it just looked so poorly. This one they did 3D, but it was not that bad. It didn't bother me as much as that one. Um, every time I kept saying Jensen Ankles, I was like, "Girl, what you doing here? Supernatural's on the other side." Um, but I actually did prefer this over the first film. I don't. I know you. All of us watched the first film together, and I can't, for the love of God, remember how it started. I just remembered that the heart scene in the first, in like the original. So for me, it was it kind of felt like like a new movie. Like everything was new. I know that the whole story is
Mhm.
basically the same thing, but at the same time, it's rewritten. It wasn't bad. Like at all. I was expecting worse than I assumed it to be, because like I don't want to
Okay.
copy Mark. I don't want to copy Mark because I do like remake. I do like prefer to remake, but mm, like I wasn't expecting this remake to be that good because I didn't like the first film.
Mhm.
That's why.
No, that's fair. And I will say, um, compared to the original, at least that's just as of top of my head, I probably would, if I were to choose between the two to watch again, I probably would watch the original as opposed to this one. Um, yeah, this movie just outside, like I said, outside of some of the kills, it's just not like that memorable to me to want to even come back to it. Um, but what we got in certain parts wasn't like the worst thing I've ever seen. It's just it was just one of those movies that happened to come out in that time frame where everything was just getting a remake for no reason, and it just didn't really pan out how probably it could have been better, and probably taking away the 3D maybe would have made it slightly better.
Oh
But
no.
moving on, we're gonna get into our scenes and kills. Um, so for me, one scene that, and I totally forgot about this when I was watching this movie. Like I kind of remembered how they were going to. So I definitely remembered the reveal, what was going to happen at the end with the whole, he was crazy and he was the one actually doing the killings. But one part that they like skirted over super quickly was that like when the one character who was like the sheriff, well he not sheriff, but he was like the cop, and he asked Jensen Ankles' character like he's like Harry Ward, are you still you in there right now? Like he's possessing him, and I was like, "What?"
What the
I
fuck?
forgot, I forgot all about that, and then they just skirted right past it and didn't bring it up again. Like it's
Yeah.
like they brought that up as if he was like being possessed by him, and like the spirit of Harry Warden, like the original killer, and that was it. And they never brought that back up, and I was like, "Oh." Okay, it's like they started to set up as if they were doing something different, and that this guy was like possessed by the spirit of Harry Warden, but they forgot about it like right after they said it, and then just like
Oh my
finished what they
god.
were doing. So yeah, that that little scene, that little bit there was weird. Another scene that was also um, it was funny to me because of like the character was just standing right near the rest of them. It was like at the beginning when the like kids, like the teens, they were in the mine or whatever, and one of the kids, forget which one it was. Uh Yeah, I don't really think the character even had a name at the time because he was just one of the ones that died near the beginning of the movie. But he got killed by the pickaxe, by the miner, like Harry Warden with the pickaxe at the like near the beginning, and Harry Warden like shined a light on the group of friends on the side, but didn't. It's like he didn't see them, even though
Oh
they
my
were so
god, that's
noticeable.
right.
He
Oh my
walked right
god.
past him to kill this one guy, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
While we're
They had like main character plot armor for
get the fuck
real.
out. While we're on, since we're right there in that topic, I just want to bring this up before I talk about my scenes. That girl was so dumb, charging at the killer.
Oh yeah, the one that got killed with the shovel.
I was like, now sis, I would have ran through him. I would have been like, bye.
That was a good kill though.
It
Which
was a good
actually
kill. They
brings
did a
us
good
to my
job on
kills.
it.
That was that was a good kill. Um, the one who got killed with the shovel, that was a decent one. Another kill with the freaking hotel like manager or attendant, like why he do her like the like raised her all the way up in the air with the damn pickaxe. He did not have to do her like that. Um, another kill that I did like was Burke when he got killed with the like ripping his jaw off. That that was crazy. It does look kind of bad. The way that because you know they had to use a lot of digital blood and stuff to get those like effects they wanted in the 3D, so it kind of looks a bit bad. But the actual like kill itself was practically done,
Which one
and
was
then in
Berg?
the
Was that the
behind,
last one? Like the
he
last
was the
cop?
sheriff. He was the sheriff that got killed when like the pickaxe like went up into his jaw and he
Yes,
ripped
yes, yes,
the
yes.
miner ripped it off. Like that was crazy. Um, so yeah, that was a good one. And then the freaking maid in the damn um dryer, which was homage to the original movie because that happened in that one also.
Oh my god, yes,
But
I do remember that. Yes.
yeah. But I think for me, that kind of wraps up things that I did like. Scenes that I didn't like, um, or any kills that I didn't like. Mm, that whole sequence where they had that lady naked for no reason. Like,
I
why was
kind of
she
found it
naked?
funny. He was like, "Girl, you were so confident getting out of that hotel room naked." I'm like, "Girl,
Like,
you are brave. I wish I had confidence like you."
like they just had her naked for no reason, and like I was like, okay. Um, I was like, okay, she's still naked. I was like, oh, she is still naked right now. All right. Um, yeah, that was a lot. Uh, oh, I didn't hate this scene, but found it funny. It was when I believe that was Axel. He was the other sheriff, like the younger one who was friends with Tom, and now he's with Irene, or was that Irene? Or was it Sarah?
Are you talking about the
Sarah. Sorry. He he was the one that was cheating on his wife.
girl? That was one of my scenes.
Yeah, I'll kick it to you after this one. No, just when he was at the cabin though with the girl he was cheating on the wife with, and she's like, "Oh, I'm pregnant, and here's your Valentine's Day gift."
Yes, I was literally calling her, "You brunette hussy." I'm like, "You fake for that." I was like, "Oh hell no!" And what pissed me off more was he was getting mad that what was the wife's name again? Irene? Was it Irene?
The wife was Sarah.
Sarah. Sarah. Like he was getting mad at Sarah for talking to Tom, and I'm like, "You're literally cheating on your fucking wife, dude. You're literally cheating on her, and then on top of that, she was pregnant."
Mm.
Mm. Oh
Basura.
my. Oh my god. I was saying trashy bitch every fucking second of it. I was like, I hate you so much.
But
Um,
I'm gonna kick it to you though.
well, scenes that it wasn't more of like I liked it, just like you said, it was kind of funny. It was just that whole cheating thing. The one scene I really liked was how they were, how they were trying to portray that it wasn't him that was the killer. Like they did a good job because I genuinely thought it was a different person, but I stopped thinking it was a different person once what was it called? Once it was how like he just returned out of nowhere.
Hmm.
Another one that I have a weird issue with this scene. So do you remember when they in the bar where like they were like attacking him? I understood because he was selling the mine, right? But what I didn't understand is like they were saying like they were blaming him for the accidents too. I was like, why are you blaming him? He was also just a like teenager back then. So
Yeah.
like what was it about it that he like I think one of the old cops, the retired cops, stopped him from saying any more, the bartender. So I was like, what was he trying to say? Like what how like what? Um what other scenes did I like and disliked? I I liked the shopping scene where like he literally was in there trying to attack Sarah and Megan. I just found it so funny how Megan was just dragged out.
Oh yeah. I remember when
Um,
I watched it for the first time, I definitely thought that because she died, that Axel was the killer for a bit. Like I
yes,
thought
to
he was
hide
trying to
it.
kill her so she couldn't say anything.
I was thinking the same thing. Um, what other scene did I like? I know you didn't like it, but I just found it funny. It was just like the sex scene. I'm like, girl, she was doing what she had to do. She was she was doing it like rent was due the next day. Uh I think for me, it was more like another thing that I liked was the revelation at the end, where it showed how he was basically he had it was just a whole split personality that he had, and then um another thing that I really liked was it just that whole scene was just like finding out he had a split personality, finding out he was in a mental institution, but also I like how he covered his tracks.
But into our character list, we're going to start off with Mr. Cheater, Cheater himself, Sheriff Axel Palmer, who was suspecting Tom the whole time, but not because Tom was actually doing anything just yet. He was only suspecting him because Sarah liked him in the past, and
Oh my god!
she still had a little thing for him. And he's one of those cheaters that's like, oh, I'm cheating, so she must be cheating as well. Even though she wasn't doing anything, she was just being a good wife and was pregnant with the child.
And she was,
And now you got this guy.
but you gotta stop right there. It's like you can't just say that because he was cheating first. She was just longing for him because she was just worried about him after all those years.
Exactly. So Axel was trash, but he was right that it was Tom the whole time. Even though he was trash, but he wasn't right because of any he wasn't right because of anything other than he was just a hater.
Oh my god!
So
Yes.
that's kinda like the only thing, to be quite honest. But yeah, he was fine, like Kurt Smith portraying him was fine. This was like this is like the first mm, movie that I remember seeing this actor in outside of Final Destination.
Which one was he in
I
Canada?
really
Was
don't.
he the one from three? Was he the one that survived?
No, he was in. No, he was in the first one.
Which one was he?
He was a part of the friend group in the first one. He's the one that died at the end when they were in Paris and he
Oh,
got hit
yeah,
by the
yeah, yeah.
sign.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay. This whole time I thought it was the survivor from Final Destination 3.
No, no, no. Yeah, he wasn't in that one. Um, yeah, so yeah, I don't really see this actor that much stuff. I know he's more like TV. Um, for the most part, he's more in a lot of like TV shows and stuff. But yeah, it was good to see him again in this movie. But yeah, he wasn't like the best or anything, but he did fine. Um, Elian, did you have any thoughts on Axel?
To be fair, I wasn't like to be fair, I like you said, I don't like I'm gonna like just hop on what you said, like, he cheat Mr. Cheater Cheater. But it was just more of the fact that like I didn't even realize that he married his basically his best friend's girl until like the grocery scene where they met each other. So for me it was just like, wow. And then you realize how much he was just like waiting for her to be single because of like how that whole interaction in the police when they were trying to interrogate him, and he was just saying like you always had a thing for her in XYZ, and how he got so jealous. I'm like, and I'm over here like, girl, why are you being so jealous when you're cheating on her with a younger person that works with your wife?
Hmm.
Um, let's see. On top of that, he basically didn't even help his friend. Like I felt like he was like, well, if he dies, I get her. Um, Well, overall, like he was still an asshole. Like I hated him with a passion. Like you said, he was right that Tom was the killer, but like he's still ain't good. He's ain't still a good cop because you have anger issues and jealousy and infidelity. And I hope
Well,
she divorced you after in the post credits.
well, since we're on the topic of Axel, let's talk about his wife, Sarah. You have any thoughts on her?
I felt really bad for her because at the end of the day, people saw her like, just like, she just moved on to the next guy. But she also like did try to save Tom. Like she would push Axel away. She would say, "We gotta go back. We gotta go help him." And it got to the point where like she was kind of forced to go into the car. And
Hmm.
I could tell that even afterwards, she was really happy to see Tom. Like she like still gave him the benefit of the doubt and everything like that. Because at the end, because she still felt guilty, because we felt like she didn't do enough to go save him. Um, I actually really liked her. Like, she wasn't like a full main character or like a side character, but she was shown enough in it. Um, I love that she actually defended herself, saying like, "Bitch, I'm not blind. I know you cheating on me with her. Like you have willpower, girl. You have willpower, but it's just like you were never you kind of like fell out of love with him, and I hoped you let him die. You should have shot him too when you had the chance. You should
Real.
have done it."
And who would
Um,
have blamed her?
no, I would have been like, I didn't see nothing. Um, but overall, I really liked her character. I felt like she was actually a really strong character. She had to go through grief, but also rebuild herself, and she still had to deal with the basic trauma that just happened to her all over again.
Yeah, that's
Finding out
true.
the finding out the love of your life. Well, technically, yeah, the love of your life, because she still had all those pictures of them together. Is still alive, and then that you finally understood that he is the killer. It's got to mentally fuck someone up.
Yeah, that's fair. Um, our next character though is Mr. Killer himself, Tom. Now, as I said earlier, Jensen Ackles, I
Oh, I thought we were
was
talking
not
about like the
really.
actual.
Oh, yeah, we on Tom. Yeah, but I wasn't really feeling his acting as much in this. Um, I thought he was fine as like the character, but
Do we
yeah, I
know if
don't
he
know if this
was
is the
doing
role for him.
Supernatural during this time, or was like this one of his like earlier
Yeah, he was doing
things?
Supernatural. This was '09, so he was definitely doing Supernatural at the time.
I don't know.
Um yeah. See, I don't know if this was the character for him personally. I just don't think it I don't think it was.
I feel like
Um
His character should have been Axel. To be honest, I feel like he played that part really good.
yeah, I think I could have seen that. I could probably see that a little better, to be quite honest.
Yeah,
Um but the character of like Tom himself though, even like, before we find out about the whole, him being the killer and everything, um, yeah, I guess my whole thing was like, okay, so I understand like why people would be mad at him for the situation. Um, he's closing the mine and all that. Because when these type of towns, like jobs like this is basically the only thing that's there besides like service jobs, like working in a restaurant or like a store or something like that. So once they shut down, like say the factory or like the mine, the town doesn't really have much else to offer themselves. So it's like I understand why they would be upset, but also like y'all like did not like him anyway. Like,
yeah,
why
and
would
I
he
still want to
care?
know why. Like, I genuinely want to know why they didn't like him.
Well, they said he was blamed for like the um. I forget if it was it his dad they were blaming for the explosion or was it Tom?
But I'm still like, just that's what I'm trying to say is like, how can you blame him if he was still a
Well, they
teenager?
say. Well, yeah, they say if I recall, he forgot to like vent like the gas lines, and that's what caused the explosion. Like
Oh,
that messed everything up. Like he forgot to like vent out the gas, so it like built up, and that's what caused the explosion. Um, like when Tom did, and so if true, that makes sense why they wouldn't like him. But him, coming back after the guy's death and everything, and deciding to shut it down. And now he's just giving a whole new reason for people to be upset with him at that point in time. Instead of like just if you don't want to be involved with them, just give it up to somebody else. Which I mean, he was. What I mean, I guess that is true. He was selling the mine, so he was giving it up after his dad died. In that sense, and all the people were just getting angry at him for that. But I mean, shit. If he doesn't want to be in charge of it, he doesn't want to be in charge, and y'all don't like him anyway. So why
y'all
y'all?
could have bought
Why?
it.
For real, it's like
Like,
if you care that much,
y'all could have came together and bought it. I'm just saying,
that's what pull that money together.
for real. We are a community. Is basically what they said this whole time. Uh, get together as a community and buy it from him. There, problem solved.
But yeah, once we get to the end though, and we see that he ended up being the killer the whole time. Um, they had the whole little flashback sequence where we saw all the times where he was actually involved and doing everything. You know, like I just don't think Tom was just that strong of a character for me to really even feel anything getting to that reveal. Like
Yeah,
once we were there, I just didn't feel he was that strong of a character. Not saying I didn't like care. More so I just didn't really feel anything once he got there. It's like, oh, he was the killer.
like
Okay.
like the actor himself didn't portray him as the reason, like a good reason why he's the killer, basically.
It didn't really it didn't really matter to me whether he was or not because I wasn't really interested in the character to begin with. But Yeah, you have anything else on Tom?
I think it's just, I think Mark just kind of felt bad for him because of the getting the backstory and all that stuff. I want to know, like, the one question I had was like, remember, he said he disappeared for 10 years. So, and then they found out that he was in a mental institution for 3 years. So, did he go willingly or did he go just like if someone found him being crazy? Um,
That's a question.
I forgot to add this to one of the scenes that I liked, but it also included when they were in the mine was when he kept breaking the lights. It showed the actual like the actual what's his name? Um, what was the actual killer's name now? We go
Oh,
back and
Harry
forth on it.
Warden.
Harry Warden. There we go. When he cut the lights off, you could see Harry Warden, like the actual like persona he was trying to be. He was being. I like that scene a lot. They did a good job on that. But I do agree with you where like the actor like Jensen Ackles didn't sell it to me. Like he kind like even since the beginning, he kind of looks stuck up, and he didn't move me enough to feel fully bad for him. You know what I mean?
Mm,
And I can agree with you. Like the character didn't do too much, and I felt like he honestly just popped now and then. Like it wasn't like he was just the main person. I kind of wanted them to make him more like he's in the center of it. So like, how is he doing it? But they kind of made it really obvious that it was him with the amount of times he never showed up.
no, that's fair. Well, last person on our list for our characters is the miner slash Harry Warden. So technically, we got a little bit of him in here. At the beginning, of course, when he went on his whole rampage, which I mean, shit, he racked up a big a hell of a kill count.
Oh
At the
my god,
beginning,
I
from the
forgot about the
hospital,
hospital scene. Oh my god,
yeah, from the hospital to the mines, like Harry, he was going off in that damn hospital.
was there a reason why he was doing it? Like, did he have a motive?
Um, it was like an act of revenge, if I the way they were just describing it. Essentially, I
Hmm.
mean, well, the people in the hospital, like, they really didn't have anything. At that point, he just woke up on and was like going after anybody.
Right,
Um, but he was definitely about to try to kill, he's definitely about to try to kill Tom. That's who he was going for. Um, because he was stuck comatose like after after the explosion at the mine.
right.
But he was already going crazy. Well, not already um, doing stuff because he killed the other miners that were in the mine with him to conserve oxygen and stuff. Now, if I recall, I don't think it was mentioned in this one, but in the original one, I'm pretty sure he also uh, ate the other miners that were trapped in there with him as well.
Oh shit.
Um,
Okay. Oh, that's right. He did, but
I
we
don't
don't know.
I don't think they said so in this one.
No,
If he did
no, no,
that,
they
but
didn't.
he definitely
Hmm.
killed them to conserve like oxygen and stuff while he was like trapped in there, and that's what made him kind of go crazy. Doing all that. But yeah, he didn't have far-reaching impact until once. Well, I guess you could say he did have far-reaching impact because it kind of it caused Tom to need psychological assistance after everything that happened at that point. So, I mean, he did have an overarching impact. And then, at the end, um, Tom was the one doing everything, like posing as Harry Warden. And as I mentioned when I was going over my scenes, it seemed that they was going to try to point towards like a possession type of deal. Like he was being possessed by Harry Warden, but they didn't really go with it. It was like mentioned super briefly in like one line and nothing else at that point. So I'm
I'm
not sure about that still.
I'm very happy they made a psychological over like paranormal.
Yeah, that's fine. Even though would I have minded the paranormal? I really wouldn't have minded. It probably wouldn't have changed anything about how I felt about the movie itself. But I would have been like, okay, that's different.
I don't know. I feel like knowing that it was an actual like you can like people suffering with dissociative identity disorder they can actually take on a persona. It's much more scary than a ghost coming back for revenge.
No, that's true. I understand that. Outside of that, though, you have um anything else in regards to Harry Warden?
Not really per se, just because we technically only got Henry Warden at the beginning. He's the reason why Tom is the way he is because of the trauma. But after that, his story kind of just dies right there. So like there's really not much of an impact throughout the whole film until like Tom basically takes lead of it.
No, that's fair. Well, moving on, we are going to go into some behind the scenes info and facts. So, the budget for My Bloody Valentine 3D was $14 million and it brought in the box office of $100.7 million. Some interesting
Damn.
facts. While the 1981 original is a cult classic, the 2009 remake, My Bloody Valentine 3D, carved out its own place in horror history, mostly by being unapologetically gory and leaning hard into the 3D gimmick. And it was the first rated R film to be projected in real 3D technology and while having a wide release. Director Patrick Lussier and stereographer Max Penner intentionally designed shots to poke the audience. They used a beam splitter rig to ensure that items like pickaxes, gun barrels, and even body parts popped out of the screen with maximum depth. The character Irene, who is played by Betsy Rue, holds the record for one of the longest nude scenes in slasher history.
No,
Originally, she
I could
was
see that. I could see that.
Originally, she was scripted to wear a bedsheet, but the actress suggested the scene to be done fully nude. Well, since she suggested it, that's fine.
My girl said I need to get my coin.
And to keep fans of the 1981 original on their toes, the filmmakers intentionally changed the identity of the killer. But enough of them. Oh wait, sorry. Some critics' reactions. The film currently sits at a 62% on Rotten Tomatoes. Green Rant reported that the reviews of My Bloody Valentine 3D were positive, with praise for being a fun, hyper-violent throwback slasher movie with the campy gimmick of being projected in 3D. Variety said the director and co-editor play the 3D gimmick for all it's worth. Everything from tree branches and gun barrels to bloody pickaxes and bloodier body parts appear to jump off the screen. He also makes effective use of the depth of field illusion, allowing audiences long views. The Los Angeles Times said the implemented 3D technology enables startling effects, but after a while, the minor thrill of the trick is gone. And lastly, the New York Times said the creaky screenplay is mercilessly at odds with the director's fine sense of pacing. From the moment you duck a flying mandible and gaze, mesmerized at the severed head oozing 2 inches from your nose, you'll be convinced that the extra dimension was worth seeking out. These reviews honestly weren't that bad. I wonder if I would have had a better time if I had actually seen this in 3D.
Nah, I feel like my review would actually gotten less if I saw it in 3D.
Oh, really?
I'm not a big fan of 3D. Like I said, like I was really shocked. Like they said it was 3D, but they did a really good job incorporating it in a way that it didn't look 3D.
Okay, okay. Well, enough of them. What about us? Leon, did you cash or pass My Bloody Valentine 3D?
Actually, in the way that I saw it right now, I will cash it. It can go both ways. Like I said, the gimmicks for the 3D wasn't so bad. Like it wasn't so eye gawking or like it just got to the point where it was like ugh, just all like Like a lot of movies push the 3D so much that it just kind of gets over like overbearing with it. This one, like it was 3D, but it wasn't so excessive. So I actually quite enjoyed the movie along the way. I actually didn't mind it. But overall, the movie was really good. I actually did enjoy the film. I enjoyed the story. The story. I felt like there were some parts where it was like a little confusing, where like kind of had an open. It was open, but it never ended. Like I said, from what we're talking about, like why was he? They were so mad at him, or like why did they blame him? Even though you just said that is because of the pipe thing, but I thought it was like the murders of the teenagers, even though it wasn't even him at all. Um, the storyline was actually pretty good. Um, the only thing is, like, I kind of wish they didn't make it too obvious. However, it still was a good film for me to keep myself entertained and keep myself focused on the film. So I will cash it. But if it was full 3D where I had to put on the blue and red glasses, I would pass immediately.
All right. And for me, I'm going to pass on this one. This is another one of those films where if we weren't reviewing it, I probably wouldn't have watched it again. Now, let's say someone had like a 3D TV and was like, let's watch this movie. I would be inclined to check it out in the actual 3D just to get that feel for it. I would do that, but on its own as it is right now, this movie, um, yeah, it just doesn't really do much for me personally. And I think the performances here weren't the best overall, especially
Hmm,
Jensen Ackles. He's a bit boring to me in this role. I
fair
like him
enough.
better in other things I've seen him in. So yeah, I think I will pass on this one. As you also can see from the episode, Mark is not with us. We don't have his cash or pass, but I feel like Mark would pass on this one.
I could see that.
Oh yeah, I feel like
Well, he doesn't
Mark will
like
pass
remakes.
one, but sometimes he'll be surprising and he'll be like a cash, and I'll be like what? But yeah, he don't like remakes, and it's also in 3D. So yeah, I'm gonna speak for Mark. I'm gonna say pass.
Hold on. I kind of want to like edit mine a little quickly. Like you don't have to like edit this out. I will agree with you after hearing what you said. I will say like I would pass it. I would cash it if it was like someone who never watched it. Like if they watched the old one but never saw a new one, I would cash it for them to watch it at least one time so they can watch it. But I would pass it if I had to like go rewatch it.
Mhm.
That's it.
Okay. Well, that wraps up this special Valentine's episode of How to Feel Horrors. And this episode is special because my birthday is this week. So I want all of you listening to leave me love in the comments.
Don't wish him
Wherever you're
love.
listening. Oh,
Don't wish him love. He's a glutton for
don't listen to the bird. Yes, I am a glutton. Glaze me.
it. Girl. Anyways.
But with that said, in Mark's words, good night. If you like this episode, please be sure to check out some from the Haddonfield Horror Cemetery, where we've covered big franchises such as Friday the 13th, Halloween, and Saw, or one-off reviews like The Blackening or Hereditary. You can follow Haddonfield Horrors on Instagram and TikTok, where the host posts updates and mini reviews. Full episodes are available on several podcasting platforms, including Spotify, as well as YouTube. If you're listening to us on YouTube, please be sure to like and subscribe. The Haddonfield Horrors podcast is produced by Mark Smart, Tawan Griffin, and Elian Cordova, themed by Lethal Injection, and edited by Mark Smart.
The Haddonfield Horror Podcast is a Letter to Media production.
Should we do an intro?